there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But in this day and age, it's what it is.
Yeah,
But
no shit, right?
I don't want to talk about gaming because, quite frankly, gaming's dead. Quite frankly, gaming's dead. Gaming's dead.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Hey! Hi! How you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh at the ridiculous statement made by the most cynical of those in the gaming community saying, video games today suck. Video games are dying. Gaming is dead. Just such absolutely laughable statements to make. I mean, that's one hell of an echo chamber you got there. Where can I buy one? Now, I know immediately that there's going to be some arguing and some confusion over my stance on this statement. I know some will say, well, isn't it just their opinion? Absolutely, I am not denouncing anyone's right to have an opinion on video games, the video gaming community, the video game industry. Hell, I have my own opinions. But there's a difference between having an opinion on something and actual factual reality. I mean, I can state that I believe in the Loch Ness Monster, it's just my opinion. But reality, facts, evidence do not support that opinion. I can say I believe in the Loch Ness Monster is real, all I want. But the world around me does not reflect, support, or back up that opinion in any way whatsoever. So if you want to have the opinion that video games are dead, video games are dying, I'm not stopping you from having that opinion. However, I am also free to share my opinion and criticize your opinion for being simply untrue, not factual, devoid of reality. Again, you can believe and say video games are dying, video games today suck, all you want. You can have that opinion, but do you have any factual, objective, reality-based evidence to back it up? Spoilers, the answer is no. You see, from where I see things, making the statement saying video games today suck, video games are dying, video games are dead, you have no credibility. In my eyes, you've lost all credibility when you make that statement. I simply cannot take anything you say seriously after that point. Because, well, where do I even begin? Video games are selling more copies and making more money than at any point in history. The number of games supporting, based in, and providing content for a variety, an enormous, nearly endless variety of different genres of video games are so readily available that there's a video game out there for everybody. There's a video game with a story, with a style of gameplay, with a certain type of graphical fidelity and art style that will appeal to you. Video games are so diverse and so numerous in their settings, gameplay mechanics, and everything beyond and in between that it is impossible not to obtain a video game that you will find enjoyable, whether it be AAA, budget, or indie. And continuing on with the numbers game, there are more people playing video games than ever before. And the number of gamers just keeps growing and growing and growing. The amount of people of all ages, from all around the world, from all walks of life, are playing video games, and it is only going to get bigger until we finally reach a point. We're getting close, we're almost there, but we will finally reach a point where video games are just as mainstream, just as natural, just as household as reading, music, television, and movies. Hell, we've probably already reached that point. So you can say gaming is dead all you want, it's not true. It is simply not true. You have no evidence, you have no facts. Reality itself, reality of the world, reality of life, does not back up that statement in any way, shape, or form. Again, I can say the Loch Ness Monster is real all I want. I can say bananas are blue, apples are yellow, the grass is red, the sky is bright pink. I can make all these statements, all these ridiculous claims all I want. It doesn't matter how many times I say them or how loudly I yell them. Those statements are simply not true, have no factual objective evidence to back them up, and have no basis in reality. Why don't we get to the real root? Why don't we get to the real core of the issue here? Gaming is not dead. Has never been. Probably never will be. Perhaps maybe, just maybe, this has something to do with you as an individual. maybe you just don't like the recent games that have come out. And just because you don't like something doesn't mean they're bad. Maybe you just don't like video games anymore. Maybe video games are just not your kind of hobby anymore. Maybe you've grown out of them. Some people grow out of cartoons. Some people don't. Some people grow out of sports. Some people don't. Some people just don't care for a certain type of food anymore. Some people will eat that for their entire lives. Maybe, just maybe, gaming's not for you anymore. Maybe instead of blaming games for you not liking games, maybe you just, as an individual, don't like games anymore. I mean, you're really going to stand there, and tell me to my face that every single AAA game, every single budget game, every single indie game released the last decade, the last 5 years, the last 2 years has sucked, has blown, has been god-awful, has been poorly made? Give me a break. Don't hand me your personal preferences telling me they're objective facts. Oh, I don't like this particular genre of video games, therefore it sucks. And people who like this genre or like this individual video game that I don't like, they're just idiots and they're wrong and they're sheep. Gee, that's not closed-minded at all. Again, I know I asked earlier, but where did you buy that echo chamber? Cause I gotta tell ya, it is doing you wonders. How about instead of writing people off, calling them idiots, calling them mindless sheep, because you have a difference in personal preferences in video games, we actually have a conversation, a discussion, a debate, a heart-to-heart, that maybe you just prefer these particular video games. Maybe not everything sucks. Maybe you just don't personally like it. Look, I have stuff that I don't like, that I know everyone else likes. I don't like peanut butter. I hate the taste of peanut butter. I find peanut butter disgusting. The rest of the world loves it. The rest of the world eats it. Am I going to start saying, food is dead? Food today sucks. All those people eating peanut butter, yeah, they're idiots. They're sheep. Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds? That's how ridiculous you sound when you say gaming is dead. You can have different personal preferences without condemning the things you don't prefer and the people that do prefer them. All that aside, however, this is much more personal note for me. I cannot stand, I absolutely despise when people just write off all the hard work that video game developers do. I see this growing attitude in the gaming community to assume video game developers are their enemy, and I may be making a separate video on this topic alone. But it is very unhealthy and very unrealistic to assume that the people developing video games, the people making video games, are somehow disrespecting you or out to get you when they don't make the video games you want them to make, or have certain parts and aspects in their games that you just don't like or disagree with. Video game developers are people too. They're not out to get ya. They're men and women in the workforce doing a job creating, making video games. And video game development is a hell of a job. It's an incredibly difficult job. I have nothing but the utmost respect for video game developers because I myself tried to develop and produce a video game on my own when much younger. Before I even started YouTube, that was one of the experiences that inspired me to make these YouTube videos about video games. Because I'm so fascinated and intrigued and inspired by video game development. I can't help but talk about the video games that are being developed, and I may slip up from time to time and say something fucking stupid and petty about a development decision in a video game. We all gotta remember, we're not video game developers. We are not behind the scenes seeing how the game is being made pixel by pixel. But most of all, most importantly of all, it's just video games, folks. Can we not take this so seriously? There's nothing wrong with having a passion for video games. I have an undying, fiery passion for video games. But I would never let my love that I have for video games make me disrespect and disregard other human beings. Video games, at their core, have always been about fun. So let me ask you, what's fun about being miserable, being angry, hateful, and distrusting of video games? They have always meant to be fun. If you're not having fun with video games, then why invent this fantasy that there's something wrong with the games? Why not just move on? Do something else, talk about something else that you enjoy, that provides that fun and that passion and that love in your life. Or go back and play the video games that you do enjoy. Video games are not worth hurting yourself over, hurting others over. They are certainly something to be talked about and analyzed, but not something to ever lose sleep over. Unless you yourself, of course, are a video game developer. In that case, you have a big job ahead of you, and I wish you the absolute best. Anyways, that brings this video to a close. If you liked the video in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the like button. Hitting the like button helps you, helps me, helps everybody involved with the video if you hit the like button. Please leave a comment. What are your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the topic of this video? Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions in the comment section down below. I love reading comments. To get nearly enough comments, please leave a comment. If you want to help out and support this video, then please share it on social media, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me directly, well, there's always Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been the video, and I'll see you all later.
Because quite frankly, gaming's dead.